Welcome to Castles to Cauldrons, where every journey starts with a little bit of magic.
Welcome to episode 34 of Castles to Cauldrons. I'm your host, Jason Davis. I'm here with Myka and Terri. Rachel is not with us today. She is out collecting her toe jam for the next big toe jam festival up there in Pennsylvania. It's her big week, so we gave her the week off, letting her do that.
She's very busy.
You have fun with it. Just don't bring it back to us for the training. We don't want to try any of that stuff. Well, since we brought up Rachel, her and Siobhan are going to be going to a training in Sandals Royal Bohemian. I think that's how we say it. I'm not positive on that. I'm not a big sandals expert.
Bohemia or Bohemia?
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm Disney Universal, so that's outside my language. But they're going to have an incentive when they come back. It's going to be around August 10th through 13th when we'll have more information when she gets back from her Toe Jam Festival. So just be on the lookout. We'll let you know more. And if you like the Magical Travel page, then there'll be information on there too. But while we're talking about discounts, Disney Cruise Line just dropped a really good discount. So this discount is 50% off the third and fourth sailor. So if you have kids, this is a great benefit for you. If you're a friend group wanting to go and you want to make it a little cheaper, this is perfect. The available sale dates are on the Disney Magic, the Disney Wonder, the Disney Dream, the Disney Fantasy, and the Disney Wish, starting October 3rd through March 30th, 2025 through 2026. They must be booked by October 12th of the 2025. So you notice that the Treasure is not included in this, and the Adventure, which will start sailing here soon, and then the Destiny start sailing at the end of the year. So it's pretty much every ship but the three newest ships.
It's a great deal, though.
It is.
That is.
If you're really looking at like going on a Disney vacation and you don't want to spend the Walt Disney World money, because
or the parks you've maybe done, you're over, or you don't want to walk, you want to enjoy a vacation without doing so many activities.
You want to be relaxed.
Yeah. You want to let the kids go do fun things while you and your spouse go and relax on the pool deck or in the adults only area. This is perfect because it's all confined. You're going to spend about the same as you would on Walt Disney World trip, but your food's included. Your soft drinks are included. All your snacks that you want to eat are included. Not an extra charge for the dining plan or something like that.
And see something different. Maybe you've seen the theme parks over and over and you want the Disney experience without seeing the same old.
And like we've talked about on the podcast before, you have the movie theaters in there. So first run movies for Disney, those are free. You have to go to Disney Springs and pay $100 just to go see a movie and get the snacks. So yeah, you have to pay for your snacks outside the movie theater if you want to watch a movie, but the movie's free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's a good argument for sometimes it's hard to convince a wife or a husband to go back to Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know it's not a vacation. It's an adventure. You've got a lot to do. So maybe this is a way to get a Disney trip out and they get to rest and relax. And like you said, as far as cruises with kids go, it's got to be one of the safest ones out there. Where it's,
for sure,
the cast members are Disney trained. Everything is up to their standards. And I'm not saying other cruise lines aren't, but you can always trust Disney.
When we talk about the Disney level of service, this goes above and beyond what we get in the parks nowadays. The parks, we've seen some small changes where it's not as great as it used to. We can blame a lot of it on the college program and that those are just part-time kids coming down there to feel the wish to work for Disney.
I think COVID did a lot too.
Yeah.
For it.
But the cruise line is something else. It's magical. It's great. And it's almost every ship. So that means that it's not just the Caribbean sailings. I haven't looked into the sailings, what is offered or anything like that. So I'm not going to speak to that. But all these ships aren't just sailing to the Bahamas and the Caribbean.
Yeah. And if they're not the brand new ships, Disney doesn't have old crummy ships either. Even the older ships are nice ships.
Yeah, we just got off the Wonder, in June. I talked about our trip to Alaska on it. The Wonder is 25 years old, and it didn't feel like it was 25 years old.
Not like when you go on Carnival and you're in the corner and you're like, oh, there's rust there, or
Yeah.
it smells like this in an area.
I mean, there were some things that I didn't like about our room and stuff like that, and flickering lights when they turn on and stuff. So it was showing some age in some areas, but overall the ship felt like it was fairly new.
Well, I still feel like there's no matter what you can do. Like if a ship's 25 years old, there's going to be wear and tear. That's going to be obvious.
Yeah.
But Disney still does a good job keeping things clean and kept up, probably better than most other cruise lines.
Right. When it was in dock, the Wonder, we were seeing people, they were varnishing the deck, they were varnishing the rails, they were painting the back of the ship. So they were actively keeping it up while it was every time it was docked.
I mean, if we didn't already have a cruise booked on a different cruise line, like for spring break, we were going to do Disney Cruise Line, but.
And we have one book, we have the Destiny book for next July. And part of me is actively considering going with this. I mean, get a small.
Going earlier in the year.
Yeah. I mean, we'd still do the Destiny. We want Travis to see the heroes and villains theme. But for the price point that could be for our first cruise on like the Wish or something like that, wouldn't be a bad idea.
And that's what I also like about the Disney cruises is not every ship is the same. Like you get different cruises, you get different experiences and everything like that. So
yeah, whereas so right now I'm doing a lot of research on the Star because I'm in a couple of weeks I'm going on that. And they've said they've done minor changes in between the Icon and the Star. So different restaurants are changed out, and different shows. But Disney is like their dining rotation is completely different. Instead of Arendelle on the Wish, they have a Coco theme on the Treasure, and I think it's Lion King on the Destiny. I might be wrong on that.
If it is, that has my heart already. I love Lion King.
But I mean, they're actively making these big, complete changes to the restaurant, not small little.
Well, because they want you to go like, okay, well, I've been on this one and I've experienced this. Now I want to go here and experience that.
They want you to be completist.
Yeah.
So
but they each have like you were talking about, like the Treasure has Coco and Marvel. So, a lot of times, sometimes boys, it feels like it's left out of sometimes the Disney World, not Disney World, but
where they have the Rapunzel themed on one versus like Arendelle, because that's more of a girl thing. Because we all have boys, so
and so it's easy. And I mean, Coco to me, I feel like boys like more anyway than girls. But I like how they also do a Marvel thing, or the Pirates thing, or things like that. So they're catering to everyone. You can always find something that suits you, no matter the ship.
So
I agree.
I think it's a great deal. I think a lot of people will take advantage of it. I don't think it's necessarily that people aren't booking Disney cruises now. I think it's more or less that people are waiting till all the ships are coming out so they know what they want and where they're going to be home ported and everything like that. Because we still got 2 more ships, I think, coming out.
Yeah, I think they announced a couple more.
So why spend your money now if there's a ship that might be more compatible with your family? My thoughts.
I also think the cruise market is kind of saturated now. So people, they've got too many choices when it comes to cruises. So I think this helps funnel in like, okay, I have kids. I trust the Disney brand. And now they have a super great discount. This is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like, let me go there. Instead of checking out Royal Caribbean and Carnival and Norwegian and everything like that. It's like, well, I know this one. This is easy to do. If you've ever booked anything with Disney, you know what to expect. You know how to do it. You call your travel agent and you say, hey, this is what we need. This is our budget. And they work with you. And it's super easy.
That is so true. Well, we'll go off the cruise line for a little bit. We'll move to Walt Disney World. It's some news. By the time this comes out, Buzz Lightyear will have been closed. They're closing it August 4th. It's going to reopen in 2026. We have talked about it, I think, a little bit before, but they are doing a full refurb of the ride, bringing in the guns that aren't attached to the ride vehicle themselves, so you can pick them up and shoot. And then they're redoing
Yay.
the targeting system and everything like that. So it should be a really good. It was a really fun ride to begin with.
It's a great ride. It needed updating.
Yeah,
It
it
does.
really showing its age. Talking about the ships showing their age. This really showed its age. So you can expect not to be able to ride that though while you're at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, which starts August 15th. Because who wants to dress up when it's 100 degrees in Florida?
So
Yay.
early. Like, I know they're trying to monopolize on getting people in, and because they can do that with Halloween versus Christmas. It's such a smaller window to be able to do it. But August 15th all the way until Halloween, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
And it's not like it's in the Northeast where like the temperatures might drop. So it
No,
might
it's
feel a
gonna
little
be-
cooler.
You might have a hurricane hit. It can be
Yeah.
100 degrees. Like,
Definitely going to be 100
I'm
degrees.
not ready. I guess for me, fall starts for me after Labor Day. Like, to
Mhm.
me, that's in my mind
It's a-
when fall starts.
Yeah.
That's fall. August, the middle of August, that and technically my child will already be in school, but like that's still summer. Like that's
It's
still
shorts
pool
weather.
weather. Yeah, it's pool weather. Like, let's go to a water park, not Halloween.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I like HHN a little bit more, because it is pulled in some. It is Labor Day weekend every year when they start it, and they've kind of capped it at that. It starts the Thursday before Labor Day and then runs through Halloween. But this, I'm with you, Michael. I'm Michael.
My dad must be channeling in right now.
He is. I'm with you, Myka. The Disney knows they can get money out of people by saying, "Hey, your vacation is in August. We'll start doing the Halloween stuff." But they,
let's add this on.
we should start seeing pictures any day now of the wreaths going up throughout the Magic Kingdom.
Mickey pumpkins.
I mean, because like my kids' school starts, like I already know there's one of my friends, her kids started this week on Tuesday because they're a modified year round. So they started
Mhm.
this week. My son starts a week from Tuesday. So August 12th is when he starts. Then there's going to be people like Terry's kids who start the week after. And then, and so they're monopolizing on those people that are getting these last minute vacations in before school's starting. And then they can go to that Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, get that in, because there's a lot of places that don't start until that last week of August or the beginning of September. So they can get those last minute trips in. And it's actually a pretty slow time at Disney World during that
That's
time.
exactly what I was going to say. They can squeeze them in before school starts so you don't have to miss school. They can tack it onto a last vacation. Crowds are low,
Mainly
so-
because it's blazing hot out there at that time. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
anytime in the summer, it's so hot. But again, you don't want to dress up in a costume to go to Mickey's Not
No.
So Scary.
No. I have a little cousin who wants to go next August because they're crowd calendar people. They just don't want to go when they have to wait in lines. And they just had a kid. So I'm
Mhm.
trying my best to like not be a know-it-all, but to tell them maybe you just, especially with he'll be 2 by then, with a 2-year-old, you don't want to like drag a kid through the August heat in Florida. It's a lot. And so
We took Kova for like the first time when he was 2, and it was September, and it was
Hot.
still really hot. Yeah, I mean, he did well. Like, he's always been a good traveler, and we did Mickey's Not So Scary while we were there. But at the same
Mhm.
time, looking back at it, like, did he really, like, I had fun. I didn't have to pay for him. I think that was the main reason we took him, was because he
Yeah.
was under 3, so he was free. And I mean, we had fun, but at the same time, he fell asleep in his stroller at like 10 o'clock during Mickey's Not So Scary. We stayed until midnight, but he slept in his stroller. We had to take turns doing stuff.
Yeah, that's how it was when we went. My kid was so small.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to go back again. I don't think I would go in August. I'd probably wait till end of September, October, at least.
You know what does sound amazing
The food.
is during this heat, when you're there, going into Anti-Gravity's Galactic Goodies and getting a candy bowl sundae when it's 100 degrees outside, and you're getting caramel soft served with a chocolate cone dip. When
Mhm.
else are you going to eat something not like ice cream like that?
Yeah.
It is Disney, so you're going to eat it whenever because it's calories don't count. But the food they have for Not So Scary Some of it I would eat.
Are you
It
guys
looks-
pumpkin? Are you guys pumpkin? Like,
No, I hate pumpkin.
I like pumpkin bread and the occasional like pumpkin spice latte, maybe. If it's cold, it's got to be super cold because I only like it hot.
the pumpkin cream cold brew, like iced chai last year at Starbucks was way better than like the actual like iced
Really?
pumpkin. Yeah, I thought it was way better. It tasted like a pumpkin pie in a cup.
But
So
I'm
what
not
I-
for putting pumpkin on things that pumpkin doesn't belong on.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm also not a candy corn fan. So like Casey Corner has a candy corn vereen.
They're bringing
Oh.
candy corn flavor back again.
Just looking at that.
And like these hot dogs, like y'all know I had probably the worst corn dog ever.
Last year.
Yeah.
Um,
But like those fries look good.
the fries look good,
Yeah.
but I don't want a Chipotle barbecue pork street corn hot dog.
See, that sounds good.
It doesn't look good to me.
Beignets look good.
Beignets do
The
look
golden
good.
oak. And that flatbread looks good at Pecos Bill's.
The chicken parm is undead garlic Parmesan chicken strips over at Pinocchio Village House. Look amazing.
Now, that would be good because I don't know if I've ever eaten anything at Pinocchio's Village House that I raved about. Not that it wasn't good, but
Yeah,
that
it's
I've, you know.
Definitely not something I go to and it's like I have to have that. I'll go to Casey's. I'm like I have to have Casey's this trip just because.
Oh, I have to have like the cheese with the fries and the chili dog. I
Are you
like
gonna
that
try
little-
the creepy kimchi corn dog since you're on the corn dog things from Sleepy Hollow Refreshments?
Probably
I'm
not.
not a kimchi fan. But
Well,
this,
I
Why
also
are you
probably
putting
won't
it on a corn dog?
I probably won't try anything because this is all during the party, and I don't think I'm going to the party this year.
Yeah. Probably not.
There was one. Oh, the margarita. Did you see that they have a pumpkin margarita?
mm-mm.
At
See, that's where
Cinderella's
pumpkin
Royal
doesn't
Table?
belong.
I agree. Like the only thing that actually sounded kind of good was the Sunday they're gonna have it the parlor ice, like the Plaza ice cream parlor. Like the pumpkin sundae doesn't sound bad. It's pumpkin gelato with pumpkin spice caramel sauce, pumpkin brittle, and Halloween sprinkles. Like I mean, it's very pumpkiny, but I bet it would taste very similar to like that pumpkin pie.
That's it.
Like
It's
with-
got pumpkin pie
Yeah, like
vibes.
that's not bad. Like that's not a bad flavor, but in a margarita, I just
No, there's an apple cider margarita at Be Our Guest, and I don't think that looks.
I feel like
Good.
margaritas need to be like lime, strawberry, coconut, pineapple.
Apple cider to me is warm, and
Mhm.
margarita is not. So we
I'm-
don't need to put those together.
I'm gonna go my Magic Kingdom doesn't need to have alcohol kick for a second because I think there's a place for it in some cases. But when you're sitting and walking around Magic Kingdom, I don't think about like a pumpkin margarita. Like
Mhm.
I think about that for Hollywood Studios, somewhere I can walk by one of those little portable bars they have, pick up whatever drink they have for the party and walk around. All these places are going to be, you have to sit down, order your food, order your drink, whatever, and then go out.
Mhm.
That's what I was just thinking. Like, because those are at Cinderella's and Be Our Guests, and so they're not, like you said, they're not mobile places. Like that's an entire long sit down meal. So you're not going to be walking around with that.
Yeah. So not to make it a like HHN versus Not So Scary. HHN, though, you're going to go to the bar right there and pick up a drink, carry it over.
Yeah.
And when you're waiting in line for something, be able to drink it. That's what I think about when I want an alcohol specific to a party.
Mhm.
Yes.
How
But
do you guys
this-
feel about the hot honey lemonade, the non-alcoholic drink?
I don't think I saw that one.
Minute
Hot
Maid
honey is
premium
real
lemonade with hot
popular.
honey and chili lime rim.
I will
That's
say
something my husband
It's
would
gonna be
like.
at Golden Oak.
I'm not a huge honey fan, so
I don't feel like drinks should be spicy like that unless it's like a Bloody Mary or something like.
I
don't
do
know.
like now. I mean, it sounds like we're crapping all over this food. There's some stuff that looks really good.
Mhm.
This Ursula cone looks good.
Yes, but I like the variety that they're doing. It used to be very like here's a cupcake, here's some desserts, here's some this, whatever in these select places. But now that you're having whole on menus coming out for Not So Scary at different restaurants, I think that's a great option.
I was
The
just about
undead
to say
garlic
the same
Parmesan
thing.
chicken strips look
Those-
really good from
I was just looking
Pinocchio
at
Village
those.
House. They look so good.
That's what I said earlier. I would eat those for sure.
So
I was
much.
just about to say the same thing. I'm glad they're not all desserts because
Yeah.
I'm not a very sweet person. Like I like a little sweet, but I like a lot more savory things. You know, so especially if I'm going to eat it as a quick service something. I don't want to eat cupcakes and sweet coffees and lemonades the whole time. So to have the things like the chicken strips and fries and stuff that kind of have a twist on them, I like that they went out and did that.
Yeah.
Ooh, they have a s'mores cup, layers of graham cracker crumbs. I would
Hate
eat
s'mores.
blood of that.
I know they have like these special menu items at the sit down restaurants, but I feel like that is such a waste of your time for how much
Yeah.
money you spend to be at the party to go sit down to
Put them in
eat
a
somewhere.
kiosk and let me grab one and keep walking.
So here's what
Yeah.
I was going to say. I think a lot of these have to do with them saying, don't go to the sit down restaurants. Try to get people out of those. Go eat at these quick service restaurants that are offering all these because Royal Table and Be Our Guest have the special menus. We don't
But
see
you don't
anything
spend the
here
time.
for the Plaza. Well, it was the Plaza in here. I didn't see it.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
Plaza's in here,
Yeah.
but you don't see Crystal Palace.
Mm-mm.
You know, I know that's a buffet, but you're not seeing a lot of Skipper Canteen. I don't think I saw in here. So you have a lot more of these quick service restaurants that's like more go in, grab your food, go enjoy the party.
But you also have to pay attention. Like Liberty Square Market closes at 8:30 during Mickey's Not So Scary. That's on here, and that's where you get some of these. Like, I think that's where the Sally Pop and the Jack Pop are. So if you want to get those, then you have to make sure you're planning out that time too.
Right.
There's a Skellington popcorn bucket.
I was fixing to say that there's the Jack Skellington popcorn bucket. I actually texted our friend in California because they announced it out there before they announced it here, saying, "I'm going to need you to pick this up for us." And so I had to text him back and say, "Yeah, we can pick it up now." And then the mayor is going to be a sipper cup, and it looks like the hat is actually the straw, which is pretty fun.
That took me looking at that picture to figure out where the cup, because it looks like the topper to a cup. Like that looks like the topper, and then the point is the straw.
Yeah, but his head and his bust is the drink,
Mm-hmm.
and then the straw, like I said, is that, and then his head turns around like it does in the movie. So I think that's pretty cool that they're bringing it over. Food, we said some negative stuff about some food, but overall, like if you go to the Disney Parks blog, the food, there's a lot from people to choose from. Even somebody like me who's super picky.
Same.
Buffalo chicken ham pie at Friar's Nook. Buffalo chicken and mozzarella and flaky dough topped with blue cheese crumbles and buffalo ranch.
If I could eat spicy food, I would be all over that. I know.
Looks so good.
So while we talked about the Jack Skellington and the mayor merch that on the food side, the actual merchandise for Not So Scary is there.
It's very similar to last year. I feel like purple was the color last year too, wasn't
I think
it?
purple is what they kind of go to for the scary part, the Not So Scary parties.
Yeah.
I guess we don't want to do
very,
black or oranges. Yeah.
It's very similar. I mean, again, I like this animation style better than other animation styles of Mickey and Minnie, but it's just very similar to what they do every year.
They took out a lot of the villain spectaculars or spectacular merch this year. It looks like
This would be the perfect place to me to like highlight your villains.
Because they're supposed to put Villain Land there?
I guess they're
Or
waiting
just
until
instead
Villain
of
Land
putting
opens.
Or
Mickey
maybe
and
they're
Minnie
just moving all the
everything.
villain stuff over to Hollywood Studios now that they have the show.
Well, they have the villain spectacular where all the villains come out, and before that, they had a villain show that I can't remember the name of it, but all the villains came out for a meet and greet right in front of the castle.
This is just part of my argument that as many billions of dollars as Disney has, they just need to hire, I don't know if it's a company, a group, whoever does their graphic design for merchandise. We just need some fresh ideas. I know they're
Yeah.
locked into certain things that they like to keep and maintain, for their standards. But you see much cuter things, like when they do collaborations with other designers and things. Like Mickey Mouse doesn't have to be plastered all over everything for it to say, "I went to Disney
So
World."
that's what I
Right.
do
You know?
like about the party shirt this year
Yeah,
is that
like
it's the Gravediggers from Haunted Mansion.
that's
It's
everyone's favorite part of the parade.
yeah, and it's the I like the shirt. I've actually teased about buying a ticket just to go in, buy the shirt, and walk back out.
Well,
But
it's like it's heathered, like it's like a concert tee, like
Yeah.
it's not. It just has a cooler look to it, and that's the problem with a lot of Disney's clothes. They're
It's
not cool.
different. Yeah, no, like it's
Yeah.
different and it is really cool.
I think where they flourished in the food, they've kind of stepped back on the merch, but at the same time, I feel like they probably planned the merch for this year in the April-May timeframe so that they could
Like
get
2
it all.
years ago, almost probably.
Well, and it might have been last year altogether
Yeah.
when they started doing this because they have to have this stuff in bulk by the time August 15th runs around so that they don't run out of stuff. So
Mhm.
they don't know if they didn't know Stitch was going to be so popular in the movie theater this year. I don't know what Stitch has to do with Halloween, but they could have
They put that
plastered
guy
him
in
all over.
everything. So,
But I mean,
but I just feel like a lot of Disney stuff, they just like they take a Spirit jersey and they cut this thing out and then they paste this thing in, and then on a Christmas ornament or a cup or a picture frame, they cut this thing out and they put this thing in, and there's
like
no imagination to it. As weird as that sounds when you're talking about Disney World, there's no imagination put in anything.
it's like a 5-year cycle, I would say, that you see the same. Like we've seen this Mickey and Minnie for a few years now. We should start seeing a new look for them for Halloween on merchandise in the next couple of years. Because I know my shirt from last year's Not So Scary, or maybe the year before, I don't know, is Mickey in the vampire. So
And there's so many cool ways you could do an iteration of Mickey and a vampire. Like, I don't know.
I'm just happy right now I'm not the only one crapping on Disney.
We're not crapping on Disney. This is one of my
Where's your
love
happiness,
Disney.
Terri? Where's your happiness?
happiness is I buy shirts off of Etsy to wear to Disney World. I don't like Disney World shirts,
And I think
so they're
that's
losing money.
That's the thing, though, is like Disney knows that their market is in Etsy because there's headbands out there that Disney's selling now that they have taken from designs that Etsy people have made.
I buy all my ears off Etsy. I haven't bought ears in the park in 7 or 8 years. And then you wear those when you go instead of buying more at the park.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. Robert got me the Moana one at the top this last time, and I definitely
those are
wear
pretty.
that one.
those are really pretty.
What I think Disney's doing is they know what's selling, right? The Spirit jerseys, when they started coming out, everybody rushed in, bought them, and they sold, and they continue to sell. So they know they need to make a new Spirit jersey. We're going through it with Loungefly right now, where they know they can put a Loungefly bag out and people are going to go and buy them no matter what the price point is. I would almost be surprised if Disney doesn't start a partnership with Roosevelt, for the men, because those shirts are so popular. I love them. I have probably 30 shirts. So I have an R2D2 one I just bought. But if they made a party specific Roosevelt,
It would
I'd
sell
go
out.
over it.
Yeah. Or like the hoodie we were talking about the last time that y'all found in the Grand Floridian that was so expensive. If Disney put out a hoodie for girls that when you threw up the hood, you got the Maleficent horns off of it, just something, a black hoodie. It doesn't have to be emblazoned with Disney World or Maleficent or anything like that on it. Just do a plain black one, but when you flipped it up, they would sell those hand over fist all the time.
Just don't make it $500 like the one.
Just don't make it $500.
Yeah, they could sell that for $75 if they sell a Spirit jersey for, and they couldn't keep them in stock. But like you said, I feel like Spirit jerseys have been popular for 10 years now. So 5 years ago, Disney should have been looking for the next big thing instead of waiting for now to look for the next big thing.
I kind of think, I know Spirit jersey wasn't just a Disney thing, but I think Disney helped the popularity of Spirit jerseys because you were seeing them at university football games with whatever school it
Yes.
was on the back. Yeah, I'm with you on overall Disney merch. I kind of like the not so scary merch. I think it is kind of like I do think it's repetitive. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But as a male that loves Disney, when I go to the parks now, it's very hard for me to find a shirt that's not a generic Mickey Mouse, like the old school Mickey that says Walt Disney.
Yeah.
I used to
My
like
husband has the same problem.
Yeah, I used to like buying the 23 and Main shirts because they were subtle Disney shirts. They were comfortable. They were expensive, but I bought them. And now they discontinued that line.
You just said the key word, subtle. Like you said, men really don't want to wear shirts with graphics and everything, all that, because you want to wear them somewhere else and you just don't want to look like you're wearing Mickey and Tigger and Stitch all over you.
I don't care. But usually I like a shirt with the pocket logo, graphic on the back. But a lot of the Disney shirts now are full graphic up front, real cheesy.
Exactly.
They're very much catering because they know females have a bigger influence on social media, that their merch will be seen on females more so than males. My 2 cents.
But if it's made for a male, I guess they figure females are going to buy it for their husband and then their husband's going to have to wear it. I don't know.
All right. Well, that's all we have for Disney right now. Let's go to Universal for a little bit. We're not going to go too much into HHN because next week's episode, spoiler alert, is going to be about HHN. So we're going to go full on into like the houses we like and all that stuff, the shows, hopefully food. Hopefully they release something about what we can try and not try while we're there.
No toothpaste corn dogs.
Yeah. No. Please no. Please no. I think we're going to have some gross food though. Let me just go ahead and put that out there. With Terrifier,
can you imagine?
I think it's going to be some horrible food. But they announced the last 2 houses. Five Nights at Freddy was announced very early, and they said, hey, you'll know soon what it's going to be. They did say it's going to be a house. There's more to come of it. We've shared our thoughts on it. The other house is a WWE Horrors of Wyatt 6.
Yeah, what's that about?
I have no idea about this guy.
Okay. Wyatt 6.
There are Peacock things about him, documentaries and stuff. So if you want to get to know him, then you can watch those. Fun story, though. He's related. Like, I don't know if it's Wyatt or somebody else in this little group has connections to our hometown of Troy, Alabama. So he went to school at the University of Troy University. I was going to say the university in Troy, but so that's a nice little connection. But we'll go more in depth about these houses next week, just as we hype them, because we've talked a lot about houses in the past. They also announced 2 new shows, not new, returning shows. We have the Lagoon shows back after its hiatus. Ontophonic, A Ghoulish Journey. This is going to happen in the lagoon over there by Central Park. The last one they had was really good. I know y'all don't have any information about it, but it was fun. You know, they run it pretty regularly. So as you're walking by, you can just watch. The other show is Nightmare Fuel, Circus of Decay. I think this is probably going to be the only thing that Terri actually full on enjoys.
It's the like more risque show, right? Like
it
burlesque
is very risque
type. Yeah.
But it's not scary. So that's why I think Terri will enjoy.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I'm not saying she likes the risque stuff. I'm saying she doesn't. It's not scary. So this will be up her alley of not getting scared. But yeah, this is very much a not for your kids' eyes show. So take it as you will. Previous Nightmare Fuels are online. I think I sent y'all a video of last year.
You did so too.
So y'all can watch that one. This one, Circus of Decay, last year's was Nocturnal Circus. So they go do a theme for 3 years. So it should be a circus theme next year too. So a lot of the same show we'll see from last year that I saw from last year. Last thing I do want to mention about HHN, it just came out today as we're recording this on Friday, the 1st. There's a new stay and screen procedure, which won't affect us so much. It will affect me when I go Stay and Scream used to check in. You go find whatever house you want to be in, and you stand in line for that house. And it sucked because you were there. I know I sent y'all pictures last year of me in the rain because I was standing in line for whatever house. Now they're just letting you check in at I was going to say Lambert's. It's not Lambert's.
La Bamba?
No,
No.
Lombard's down by Fast and Furious. You check in there, and then you are able to stay in the park and roam until 5:15 or so when the first house opens, and then you can go line up and do the houses before the park officially opens at 6:30.
That's cool.
So I think that's a really cool, because you're not stuck in one place, and if it's raining, you can go hide and get away from the rain. Kind of messes up a little bit of stuff. Like there were some really cool hangouts at Finnegan's where people would hang out in there and have drinks and whatnot. Big party atmosphere. I like the idea of being able to roam and see what the park has to offer while waiting for a ride or for a house. Very much will tell you to do Stay and Scream if you can. That $50 add-on ticket if you don't have a park ticket, or if you're there for the park and you're staying for HHN. Very much worth doing that. Well, that's all the news that we have for today. We're going to kick it over to Rachel for a short ad break, and we'll be right back after this break.
Are you dreaming of your next adventure but overwhelmed by planning? Magical Travel has you covered. With over 24 years in the business, we specialize in Disney destinations, Universal Studios, cruise vacations, and all-inclusive resort getaways. Our services are 100% complimentary when you book a vacation package with one of our knowledgeable agents. Request a free quote to start the planning process at www.magicaltravel.com. Mention our podcast to be connected with one of our agents you are listening to.
So it's back to school for students around the United States. We have here in Alabama and Montgomery, we have kids going back starting today when this podcast comes out. So it's real early. But we figured Terri came up with this really good idea of back to school for the Disney. What is your Disney? And I put Universal too because it can work both ways.
Yeah.
If you were planning a Disney trip, what would a back to Disney trip look like? So we're going to kind of go back and forth on the different items or subjects that school has and what you really do. So the first thing on the agenda would be best time to go. So school starting back. If you have children that are in school, what's the best time to say, hey, I'm going to pull my kids out for a week and take them to Disney? Springtime.
Yeah.
See, last
Maybe
year
not-
we did the beginning of November, and I thought it was great because the weather was nice. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. The parks really weren't that crowded for what it was. And I really enjoyed that because when you have kids and they start to do testing, like thankfully Kova's young enough where we don't have any in-school testing, that he was in first grade. And that time in November was already past when they're doing their MAP testing for the year. And it was before they start doing stuff for the holidays. So it was a really good time, and he didn't really miss anything during that time. So it was kind of nice to take him during that time.
Why do you say spring, Terri?
The same reason. Weather is number one. I literally have on my list anytime but summertime.
Well, obviously, you don't have to take your kids out of school for the summer.
That, and it's blazing hot. I don't do spring break. We usually do early March because crowds are lower. Weather is great. Like she said before, testing starts, they're kind of easing into the semester, and they've gotten far enough where they're not going to lose anything, I feel like, because they're not just at the beginning of the semester, but we haven't started testing and, going downhill to the end. And it's usually by March here. It's still cold in North Carolina, and I'm ready for warm weather. So it kind of kickstarts a nice spring. I love the Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot. It's my absolute favorite. So it's the best time for me, but literally anytime but summer. I
would say in between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
The beginning of December is a good time.
And so I don't have my kid's not old enough, and he starts kindergarten next year. So I don't have a real fight in this right now because preschool, you can just pull them out whenever. But I've always thought that time frame, because people go on vacation for Thanksgiving, people go on vacation for Christmas. People aren't going to pull their kids out in the middle of December for the most part to do a trip.
That first to second week of December is fantastic.
Yeah, and it's generally pretty slow in past times.
Everything's all decorated, so pretty.
Yeah.
The weather is really good because we did a cruise one year that first week of December, and on our way back we did Mickey's Very Merry on our way back, and the weather was like t-shirt and shorts, but like no one was sweating and hot. Like even at night, it was so nice. I really enjoyed that time.
Or you want a light jacket or something at night. You don't have to have one, but it's there and it makes you like a comfort.
Something that's easy to put in your backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't say spring is because that's when you start having holidays a little bit more. So like, Martin Luther King weekend. And if there's
President's weekend.
Right. If you don't have those weekends, then you have a Run Disney race starting to happen in January. And it's just so hard to try to plan between a lot of that stuff. And then the big spring break that spring break season for Disney is usually March through April. And then once it's done, you're coming into the summer season where it's so hot.
Yeah.
So my preferred, and like I said, mine will change once Travis starts going to school and we actually start, hey, when's a good time to pull him out?
I'm a huge advocate for if you can pull your kid out, do it, because making these memories is so important. I actually have a few friends that are teachers, and I mean, with Bethany also being like a teacher, like my teacher friends always say, if they are not behind, there's nothing wrong with pulling them out. Now, if they're behind, that's a different thing. Like if they're struggling in school, then they're going to come back like a little bit more behind. But if you have a kid that's like right where they need to be, doing what they need to do, they haven't already missed a bunch of school for the year. Because I know, like for me, you only have so many excused or unexcused absences and stuff you can have. But his teacher last year, when I was like, hey, he's going to be out this week, she sent schoolwork for him to do while we were there. And we did it on some of our off days. And that way he wasn't behind at all when we came back. And he sat down, did all the schoolwork in one day, and then we were done.
Like you said, off days and the airplane, that's when, because you have to get there so early and then you sit there and wait.
Yeah.
And they don't, and I will say this is something you can usually do elementary age better than middle and high school, because in middle and high school, curriculum gets a little bit tougher.
I think third grade is when they start actually doing like the end of grade testing and stuff.
Yeah.
For kids. Yeah.
And I know in our school system, in middle school, they start counting your days absent. Like in elementary school, you only get so many days, but as long as they're excused, you don't get in trouble. Yeah. Here, I think in middle school, you get like 15, and then in high school, you get like 8. Even if you have an excuse, you still can't miss more than those days. And they will be further behind because they cover more curriculum per day. So, like you said, as long as they're young and we can make memories and the kids are doing great in school, I mean, take them out. They're going to learn things. They're going to learn about different cultures, different people that they don't see every day in their hometown. They're going to eat different food. They're going to do
Epcot,
things.
You could learn about different countries. You do KidCot all the way around, and they're already learning about stuff more than probably what they would cover at school for that country.
Do the work, come back, catch up. I think it's great.
Agreed.
We figured out the time to go where we would recommend for each, like our preferences. How do we plan on what to wear? Like, what are you planning on packing for your back to school shopping? So when you go to Disney, what are you looking for when you're packing? My biggest
great sneakers.
Okay, I was going to go on that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but on the shoes, do not buy your shoes 2 days before you go to Disney.
That's a great point. Get great shoes, but break them in.
Yeah, buy your shoes a month before. Walk around, make them your daily wear for a good month, because you don't want to go to Disney World, Universal, put 10 miles a day on brand new shoes because your feet are going to hate you day one.
I want to add to that and say, don't get a pedicure right before you go. Don't get all your calluses worn off your feet, because you're going to be walking between 6 and 11 miles a day. And if you have nice, soft, pretty feet, you're more likely to get blisters and not be as comfortable. I know I love to have some cute toenails, but not before Disney.
And I'm a flip-flop person. I will preach flip-flops day in, day out. If I walk out my house and I'm not going to work, my shoe of choice is a flip-flop. I do not wear them in the theme parks.
No.
Unless like when we go to HHN, I might wear them one night or something like that because it's a more leisurely pace. I'm not running around the park so much. But when I'm actively going to the theme parks to have fun and do stuff, it is tennis shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And if your suitcase can fit it, maybe a second pair of sneakers, because not every time, but we've gotten into the wet sneaker problem before.
Yeah.
So you want
to
to
get caught in the rain and
you want a runner tip from sneakers and shoes?
Sure.
You as a runner, you were and this is coming from Casey Neistat, who I looked up to for a long time for running because he was a good runner. I watched all of his vlogs. I learned it from him. You want to have 3 pairs of shoes in rotation at all times.
I always have
Because
2. I don't ever take 3.
It takes about 3 days for your shoes to recover from a run. So if you're putting 10
Never knew my
miles,
shoes had recover.
yeah, because you've got to think that sole is being pushed down and everything like that.
Recover.
So you want to be able to have that time for the shoe to actually come back to where it's supposed to be.
Smart
So
though.
3 days gives you that time. So I have started packing. I pack 2 shoes. I don't pack 3 pairs, but I do pack 2 pairs of shoes, and I rotate through. So that's my tip: is not just 1 pair of shoes. Go ahead and pack the 2 or 3 just to make sure that you keep your feet comfortable and happy.
Yes.
And to Terry's point, if it rains, you can have a dry pair.
Well, another thing is, you're not female, obviously, so this doesn't cross your radar. But as a female, it's hard not to at least pack 1 cute pair of shoes anytime you go somewhere, just in case. You never know when you have to look cute. The great thing about Disney World is I think there's like 1 restaurant, maybe 2, like in the whole place where you have to wear nice clothes. In that Victoria and Albert's?
To like
One hand.
because
You can count them on 1 hand.
there's a Japanese restaurant in Epcot. I can't remember the name of it, but it's also on the level of Victoria and Albert's. You're supposed to dress nice.
And so chances are you're not going to go there,
Yeah.
So there's no need to take up the suitcase space with putting in, God knows, a pair of heels, but even sandals. I mean, take a pair of flip-flops to go back and forth to the pool with and things like that. And then some comfy shoes to wear in the park. Suitcase space is at a premium. Leave the cute shoes at home. I promise you won't need them. That's the great thing about Disney World is comfort is key.
So life lesson from my wife is that when we went to Disneyland last December for our anniversary, she took the heels because we went to Carthay Circle to have a nice dinner for our anniversary.
Yeah, that's nice.
And if you have been in Disneyland, if you haven't, Carthay is in California Adventure. It's toward the front of the park. But we walked from Pixar Pier, which is at the back of Disney California Adventure,
Long walk,
all the way up to Carthay. We actually walked all the way through Disney Spring or downtown Disney into the front of the park to Carthay. And then we wanted pictures in front of the castle, dressed nice.
Mm-hmm.
We walked all the way to Disneyland to get the picture. We had to stop after dinner in a gift shop and buy Crocs because Bethany did not bring comfortable shoes that night to change into so she could walk back over to Disneyland.
I have done that before. I've taken flat sandals that would fit in my bag. And I wore the comfy shoes till we got to where we wanted to take pictures. Then I put on the nice flat sandals that looked cute with the sundress or whatever I was wearing. Took the pictures, went to dinner, then put those back in my bag and put on the sneakers with the dress to walk the park. So that's a pro tip if you need that.
The other thing I would say is if you're going during the summer, and just to get off the shoe thing for a while, when it's warmer, I would even if you're going in December, if you're going in the spring, I would pack something that's a little bit more lighter in material because it is Orlando. We have been the week after Christmas when we were in the pool because it was warm enough to swim. We've also been where it's cold enough and we had to buy jackets. So it is, the weather swings real bad. And naturally you're going to look at the weather before you go and say, hey, this is what we're packing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the biggest thing is like prepare for the unexpected.
I'll build on that because what I have on my list is moisture wicking clothes or like athletic wear for women. You know, guys have moisture wicking shirts, ladies have athletic dresses, skirts, shorts, tank tops, and what you said, layer. Like sometimes when we go in March, you know, I have pictures of us in the middle of the day in Hollywood Studios and we're in tank tops and shorts. And then in Fantasmic, I put on my leggings and thick socks with a pullover on top because the cold weather, the wind off the water and everything makes you feel like you're freezing out there. So I think at any time when you're there, especially if you're not in a hot month, quote unquote, always, because it's going to get hot. I mean, it's just bound to, in the middle of the day, you're even at 80 degrees, if you're walking around the park and it's all concrete, you're working up a sweat.
Right.
So wear something nice and light, moisture wicking, and then have your stuff in a backpack or whatever and build on that and take it off in the day and then put it back on at night. And to go along with that, deodorant is something you should always wear.
Yes.
Whether you think you have to or not, you should always wear deodorant.
And
Yes.
shower every day.
Shower every day, whether you, as my mom says, whether you think you need to or not, shower every day.
Yes.
You see a lot of these Instagram influencers, TikTok influencers who are dressed to the nines.
Mhm.
You're not them. Like,
No.
you do not have to be pretty. Let me say, well, I'm not trying
But
to be
they're like
mean.
walking in to take that picture or make that video and then
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah,
they're
live
not
Or they're going
private
to
spending
in
the
start
somewhere.
whole
changing
day.
clothes. As soon
Yeah.
as they do that, they're going to go change those frou-frou dress on, the A-line frou-frou Cinderella dress or Snow White dress that they bought there.
We have like our agency is what, probably 96% female. I think every single one of them can walk in and take a beautiful picture, but none of them need to wear whatever. You know, they need just to be comfortable when they're going to do it because we're there to have fun. None of, like I said, none of us are those influencers. I'm not going to get in a Cinderella dress for that pretty picture in front
Come
of
on.
people.
I don't know.
Next
I
year.
would pay good money for that picture right there. You in a Cinderella dress in front of Cinderella's castle.
Well, if you pay for my Halloween party ticket so I can get the shirt, then there we go.
Next year we'll Disney bound, but we'll be boys and you'll have to be a princess.
I would totally dress up as one of the princes. That would be great.
See, I'm at the point where I don't even wear, like, I have those Roosevelt shirts that I talk about.
Yeah.
I have friends that are like, why don't you wear those in the park? I'm like, because I want to be comfortable.
Yeah,
those are not
that's
comfortable to
dressy for
wear
the
all
park.
day. I'm going in, I'm going to sweat. I don't want to those are high dollar shirts that I want to take care of. So yeah.
I think I have to have pockets, whether I'm wearing like gym shorts or like one of the athletic skirts that has the shorts built in under it. Because even if I have a backpack on, I like to have my phone where I can access it without pulling my backpack around and unzip it. Because everything you do is on your phone, your quick service, your fast pass.
Yeah.
You're texting your pictures, everything. So my phone, so even as a female, frou-frou things just don't work in that area. And like you said, you're cute without the frou-frou stuff.
Now, if you want to spend a day and you want to look cute, maybe like if you have dinner at Disney Springs, like you want to have that nicer outfit, go to Disney Springs, but you're not spending the whole day in a park.
If you're going, like, we've had dinner. We our very first dinner at Cinderella Royal Table. You know, we were wearing theme park clothes, but I was wearing like khaki pants and a nice polo all day. And Bethany was wearing a nice shirt with some nice pants. We didn't ride too much. But I also knew what I was doing that day.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's the day I proposed. But so I knew we just need to do light rides and just take it easy. Our pictures still look great. There's nothing wrong with our pictures.
Yeah.
I would put them on Instagram today if I was trying to get Instagram famous by doing that. So. Terri brought up backpack. So what's in our theme park backpack? What do you put in there for your theme park day? What's an essential? What do you need to leave behind besides the battery pack? We all know everybody has to have a battery pack in their backpack now because
number one on my list. Yeah, I have that same one that sticks to the back of your phone, which is nice when you have your pockets for your clothes.
The best one. No cords.
No cords. So nice. I have a very similar one. Have to have the backup battery if that's fuel rod or like the ones that go on the back, the MagSafe ones that just have the magnet to them.
We have the fuel rod and we always charge with our MagSafe to our phone, but then we hook our MagSafe battery
rod
to the fuel rod.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's charging while we're walking around with our phone.
Well, are we talking about like anytime we go to the park or
Yeah.
like specific times a year?
Anytime.
Hand sanitizer.
Yes.
Hand sanitizer. I was gonna say wipes of any kind.
Yeah.
And like you can get those little travel size hand wipes, baby wipes type things, especially if you have kids. Even if you don't have kids, they're fantastic.
Like if you're sitting down at a table to eat and it hasn't been wiped down, you just take
Mhm.
one out, wipe the table down.
And if it's
Go.
100 degrees outside, take one out when you're in the bathroom. Wipe under the pit.
Yeah.
you know.
Then
Yeah,
reapply
wipe
that
your face
deodorant after
And
you.
I was gonna say another thing is like a small thing of like sunscreen, at least like face
Oh,
sunscreen,
definitely
something
sunscreen.
to reapply. But you don't necessarily want to carry around the big, aerosol can one. You can get those little ones. I always have that. Like either I have a backpack or like a little like crossbody fanny pack type thing.
Mhm.
So again, battery pack always, but that's kind of a given, I feel like, for nowadays, for as much as you're on electronics. And then
Yes.
I always have some sort of snack. Like if it's
That's what-
going to be just like a protein bar
Protein
or
bars.
yeah, something, because again, I'm thinking in the way of I'm going to have my kid there and we're going to be standing in line and he's going to be hungry. Let me grab these fruit snacks out. Like he's going to
Mhm.
be fine eating those. Like he can wait because all three of us here have kids and we know all of a sudden they can just be starving to death out of nowhere. And there's nothing you can do to convince them that they're not starving to death, but give them a snack. And I always have his favorite things. If it's goldfish, protein bar, or fruit snacks.
On that line, we always throw a water bottle
Yeah.
in our backpack just so that we usually get the Brita filter.
That is it. We have the
Water
Brita
bottles
filter one because
available.
it takes out a lot of the taste of the fountain water when
Yeah.
it goes to that little Brita filter.
I don't like the taste of Florida water so much. So
Yeah.
we always take the Brita filter so that
Yep.
it gets that through and we actually have decent tasting water.
And it's a lightweight bottle.
Yeah.
It's not I love my stainless steel Yetis and Owawas and Stanleys, but they're heavy if they're empty in your bag or if they have water, if you're carrying your pack. But the Brita one's plastic and it has the filtration on it. So we like those for the parks.
We'll even throw a collapsible one in
Mm-hmm.
just so that if Travis wants something too, we can run it through the Brita,
And then put it in
put it in
his.
his so that he has
Smart.
his own.
We
We've
also,
also-
in my house, live on the little water flavor packets.
I was going to say we've done Celsius packets for when you need some energy. We've
The
done
liquid
IV for when because it is hard to drink enough water in the park when water is $5 a bottle and the tap water sucks. So
Go to Starbucks and get a free Trenta ice water.
Yeah, go to any
Yeah.
of the quick service,
Yeah.
not to Starbucks, because it is filtered water when it comes
Yeah.
from the quick service.
Also, the water refill stations don't taste like
the
swamp.
Florida water.
Yeah, they don't taste like swamp.
But yeah, a poncho, we get ours from Walmart. They're like 50 cents for the clear plastic ones.
Mhm.
And again, in case it rains, they've been good. We've covered strollers with them while we've been in rides where it looks like it's going to rain. So we've covered seats with them when they've been wet and we've had to sit down. So the little 50-cent ponchos from Walmart, I take like 10 of
Fantastic.
them per trip
Yeah.
and just put a couple in the bag every day.
Yeah, and because you don't feel guilty for throwing those away, and then on
Right,
top
they're
of it,
super
you're not
lightweight.
spending $20 on the one that when you walk into the store.
So stupid. And the main thing is your backpack, when you take it back to your room every night, empty it out.
Yeah.
And then, because that thing gets heavy real fast. So the last thing you want of 5 days of walking is
Mhm.
extra weight on your shoulders and back that you don't have to have if you don't need it.
The biggest thing to think about too when you're packing a backpack. I don't carry a backpack. Bethany usually carries one, but make sure you don't have anything like suspicious in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Bethany always used to carry nail files and her nail clippers and little scissors and all that stuff. So every time she went into the park, she'd get flagged and then have to go through and they search her whole backpack just to find that was there. And that's what was being flagged. So don't take that stuff in unless you want to be pulled aside every time.
My mom's sunglass case kept going off every time, and we finally figured out it was the sunglass case.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And they're good at telling you what went off. Like this is probably what set it off. So take that out of your bag for the next day.
Yep.
So you can make that a little bit easier, because as somebody who has to sit there and wait, it does get kind of annoying that she has to get pulled aside, and she doesn't like being pulled aside either. So I'm not trying to be like mean, but
Well, one thing we found when we had kids that were younger and we had to pack more stuff like diapers, wipes, food, all that stuff, is that we would pack stuff in gallon-sized bags, like all the diapers in a gallon bag, all the extra outfits in a gallon bag, because when they go through them, they kind of like with their hands go through and feel around, and it's like if they don't have to feel around for every individual thing, it goes by a lot faster. Like if they can pick it up, if they feel something weird and they pick up a gallon-sized bag and say, oh, that's a plastic spoon for baby food, they'll put it back in there. And, it makes everything go because it's all nice and organized, and they're not like, it's not a pair of tweezers that have fallen to the bottom or something you've forgotten about.
and on
But
top
not
of
just
it,
organized. If you get rained on, your stuff stays dry.
Everything's so dry.
Yeah.
well, even then, if it's a spoon, the security guard doesn't have gloves on. They've touched everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
So you're not having to take an extra step to clean it again just because somebody you don't know had something on their stuff that the guard actually touched.
Oh, on that note, one thing that's always in my bag, no matter what, silicone reusable straw. I put it in a Ziploc bag and keep it because I can't stand the paper straws Disney has, how fast they dissolve. I take my own
straws in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Right. So I take my own. I have my little Ziploc bag, and it's a silicone one. I can fold down the little straw and it goes in there, and I take it with me because I can't stand those paper straws.
I don't
rinse it through
straws.
the hotel at night.
Mm-hmm. I don't have like the little brush with it.
Yeah, I just run hot water through it because I figure, diet soda, it's not like we're drinking milk out of there that's gonna spoil. I just rinse it through. Oh, hats, sunglasses, things like that you might need during the day. Those are also great in a bag, but you know that.
I always keep my hat.
I feel like you're already there with your sunglasses on.
I put my sunglasses on when I walk out the door, and they don't come off my head until later that night, and then they go into the backpack.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ask for them the next morning and say, "Hey, where's my sunglasses?" So let's talk. We've talked a little bit about food and dinner and stuff like that before, but let's talk about just food and snacks. What's your ideal food situation when you're going to Disney? Let's even go into the resort. Like when you're back from the hotel, do you eat at the resort? Do you bring food in? Like, because we drive. Like, I know y'all fly. So we're a little bit more accustomed to packing the front of the car and having a cooler full of drinks and a cooler full of food, and we just carry that into the room. When Travis wants an Uncrustable, we carry that stuff in. That's some of our backpack stuff. So in the room, though, he has snacks, he has drinks that he can just go to, so we don't have to go to the whatever food court we're at to get food.
We Instacart, so we kind of do the same thing, but we just have it delivered to the room where we have bottles of water, sodas, snack food, like I said, Uncrustables. We do breakfast in the rooms almost every morning. So we'll do cereal, we'll get some milk, Pop-Tarts, whatever the kids are into at the moment, because, they're never into the same thing all the time. And then, if my husband wants to go get a biscuit from, the food court or whatever, he'll go do something like that. Usually I'm helping the kids get ready. And I'm not a big breakfast eater. So we'll just eat something. But yeah, like you said, we have snacks to take in the park, non-perishable kind of stuff. And then we also order some oranges or like cuties and things like that to the room that I could also throw in my bag during the day, because it does feel nice to eat something fresh after chicken tenders and pizza and fries and everything all week.
Do y'all lean more healthy in the parks, or do y'all just not care at that point?
Don't care.
That's one more thing I got to think about. I'm already.
If the kids say they want to eat X and you said, okay, we're going to go there and eat because you said
We may or may not have been guilty of letting a certain Kova eat cotton candy at 9:00 in the morning.
I mean, Travis does that.
I mean, but still, like, it's one of those, like, would I do that on a normal day? No.
Yeah,
but
you're
we're
on
at
vacation.
Magic Kingdom at 9 a.m. getting in line for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Like, let's get hyped up on sugar. I need you to last all day.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
We make sure Travis has something a little bit
solid
substantial before that.
Yeah.
But we will let him have some, an ice cream or something like that, whatever we walk by if he wants it.
As long as they're eating their normal food during the day.
Yeah.
Like you had your lunch, it's 3 p.m. and we're going by ice cream. You can have ice cream.
Well,
you
I
can
feel
have
like
ice cream for
any
every meal.
vacation, not just Disney, like just that trip to the banana ball game with my nephews.
Mhm.
My nephews and my son had ice cream 4 times in one day.
It's just so
I let
hard
them
to eat healthy
Yeah.
in a place like that. So you're going to add extra stress onto an already stressful situation by being like,
Yep.
oh my gosh, we haven't had 4 fruit servings today. We've got to walk around now till we find a
Yeah.
kiosk that has fruit, you know?
No, Kova wanted a banana at Hollywood Studios, and I paid $4 for a single banana. So I will take that stuff in, and I'm glad he wanted
Yeah.
that. But I was like $4 for this banana? That's ridiculous.
Now, it should
And
be
we
noted.
do,
Go ahead.
go ahead. I was gonna say, we do like, you know, usually the kids meal, they can choose like a cutie.
Hmm.
We always choose those because even the kids usually get full on like the chicken tenders or pizza and they don't really eat whatever side it is. So
Yeah.
we'll throw those in the bag
Hmm.
and we'll eat those later on through the day. And that's something that, like a banana gets bruised, you can't keep that during the day, but oranges a little more substantial.
Now, it should be said that if you're staying at like a DVC resort or something like that, you have the refrigerator, the oven, the stove, whatever. You can cook a meal that you want to cook and carry the whole meal into Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios if you want to. You have to abide by the rules of like no glass containers, no hard coolers, anything like that. But if you want to take a Thanksgiving meal in with turkey, gravy, yam, you can do it. Disney doesn't care. They know you're going to spend your money somewhere else, but you can do that. So bring whatever food you want to bring in if you want to save the money on that case. But at the same time, you got to lug that stuff in. You got to lug that stuff back out.
That's my thing. The cooler and all that stuff in my brain, I'm like, I can't justify it right now.
Yeah, I
No.
don't. We take, like we've said, we take the little snacks, the Uncrustables, whatnot for Travis. I'm not fixing to bring a 10-pound turkey into Magic Kingdom and eat it.
Or like get up in the morning and make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for everyone and then pack enough bags of chips and things like that. And then lug it around and then to be like normal lunch. Like, I don't want this right now.
Right.
Because you know what I'm saying? They're not going to want it once they get in there.
I mean, but I've definitely been on both ends of that because when we did a trip with like my mom and dad, my mother-in-law, and me and my son, we stayed at the suites at All Star Music. And we had that like apartment size refrigerator. It had tons of counter space. My parents, because they were only doing parks like 2 out of the 5 days, they brought like mashed potatoes they had made and frozen because they drove down. They brought like all that stuff to like heat up and have meals in the room.
Oh no.
And save money. Like they did that. I mean, we got groceries delivered too. Like I got Kova's Lunchables. I got the types of things that he would eat for breakfast and have in there. But that's kind of the good thing about Disney. Like if my parents wanted to tote their mashed potatoes in their little plastic container in a cooler, they can do that, like Jason said. But also like we just had it like Terri, and then like we just really just ate breakfast in there. And when you have kids that are picky, I know he's going to eat a pepperoni pizza Lunchable like any time of the day. If I can't get him to eat, he'll at least eat that and
So
not have to worry.
Let me ask this one and we'll move on to the next topic, or last topic. Quick service, sit down table service. Which one do we do? Do we do both of them? Do we just stick to one during the trip? Or we
mix and match. Because we normally do a dining plan because it's free or it's a discount or something. And we've done it with the dining plan and without. And because our 2 kids get free dining still because they're younger, it's been a wash. It hasn't been, so you really don't save a ton of money with a dining plan. We've discussed this before. It's just convenience almost. But we've actually learned that we've done a lot of the table services at lunch when it's hotter during the day. And we'll go there and get a big meal during the middle of the day. And then at night, when we get hungry again, it might be 6 o'clock, it might be 8 o'clock. We'll do a mobile order quick service and eat then. And I feel like you can get better reservations because not many people are sitting down for a table service at lunch, but you don't have that big, heavy going to bed. You know, it's almost like we could last longer in the parks after eating because you didn't get super tired while you were sitting for an hour and a half for a table service. And then you get this big, heavy belly. And it's like, okay, let's go get on more roller coasters now. You know, so we mix and match depending on what we're in the mood for and what we've made reservations for. However many days in advance you have to do that and all that stuff.
And I'll
I
quickly
say,
point back to our Torok episode we did a few weeks ago, where she talks about how to beat the quick service dining plan, make the most of your money for it. Go give that a listen, because she gives some really good tips and how
Mm-hmm.
everything that she did for her family to really beat that dining plan. Sorry, Michael, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, we lean more towards just quick service because Kova at his age and with his ADHD, sitting down for any type of like meal is hard when he's like, oh, I want to go do this next thing. I want to see this. I want to ride that. So we'll just mobile order, grab the food. And most of the time we're eating and going. And I know that's
Mm-hmm.
really based on like ages of children, how your kids are if they sit down. Terri and them are able to like kind of mix and match. But for us, like, I honestly think it would be torture to get Kova to sit there for an hour, hour and a half.
All right, for our last little topic, and it's I guess is a big one. We got all have kids. Theme park breaks, so recess. Do you plan a couple hours each day, or would you rather take a full day in the middle of the vacation?
Full day.
Agree. I was going to say 100% I agree. A full day to have the whole day at the pool because we all have boys. And when Kova goes to the pool and we're like, okay, we're going to be at the pool
hard
for
to get 'em
2
out.
hours, 3 hours. Yeah, we need to go back. We have a reservation or the fireworks are going to start or this or that. So hard to do versus that whole day. You want to be in the pool for 9 hours today? Be in the
Mm-hmm.
pool for 9 hours today. We have nothing else to do.
And if you take the buses, you just factor in an hour
Yeah.
each way. I mean, sometimes it's longer than that, sometimes it's not, but you get an hour each way. And then by the time you get there, if you don't spend at least 2 hours, then you've wasted the bus trip, because it's hour there, hour back. And so at minimum, you've got 5 hours out of your day that you've spent not in the parks. And the parks are not cheap per day.
Right.
I mean, they're expensive. So I'm like, let's get it in while we're here. We'll take a whole day off Wednesday, whatever, in the middle of the week. And that's the day you can sleep in. You can, play in the pool all day. I usually have over at Disney Springs and shop. Or we can, that's whatever they want to do day. And you get a whole day of that, like you said, instead of being like, okay, fun's over.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get showered, get dressed, and let's go to dinner, because they don't care about dinner reservations at Ohana when they're playing in the pool, you
Right.
know.
So I'm the oddball out because we actually do it. And now I should preface, we don't do week-long trips so much. It's like we're there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
So, but we will take a couple hours during the day and go back to the room, swim, whatnot. Most of the time, I'm not a swimmer. I don't like the pool so much. So Bethany will take Travis to the pool. I don't sleep well, so I'll take a nap or something like that because I'm an old man now. So that's how we've been doing it. I went to Stormalong Bay with them when we stayed at Yacht Club a few years ago, but we also did that the same day we did the Not So Scary. So we went into Hollywood Studios, I think, that morning and spent a good amount of time doing what my sister-in-law wanted to do. We left, came back to the pool, swam, had fun, and then we got ready to go to Magic Kingdom closer to time for the party so we could actually, there was a big buffer in between. But I think if we did a week-long trip, it'd be what y'all are saying. We'd take a full day in the middle and enjoy ourselves doing whatever.
Now, my husband has taken the youngest one, the oldest one. If one didn't want to be I want to pound the pavement all day. He gets the rides in that he wants to. He doesn't care about Festival of Fantasy Parade and things like that are appointment things I have to do. So he'll be like, who wants to go back? Dad's going back. If anybody so he'll take one of them back, or he's taking both of them back, or to do, to rest. Because he's like, if I'm sitting on a bus for an hour, I don't care. I'm sitting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not walking around the theme park. I'll do whatever they want to do. We'll go to the pool for 2 hours. I'll get back on the bus and come back. He's like, but that's 4 hours out of my day. But I'm not just pushing through crowds here. And like I said, he's ridden what he's wanted to, or we have fast passes for later on. So
well, that was our philosophy before Travis. We used to go to Disney once a month or so. We take the summer months off, but we'd be going at least once a month other than that. So we did everything we wanted to do when it came to rides, and we did it as much as we wanted to. We were hitting it hard, 4 days in a park most of the time. But now that we have him, it's like we can slow down now. We can settle. We don't have to ride the rides we've ridden. I haven't ridden Rock and Roller Coaster in forever, but it's because now we're doing it a different way. So being able to stop and relax, whether it's halfway through the day or if it's a full day and throughout a week, it helps us just be able to. We're not missing anything now. We've done everything we've wanted to do in the past. Well, I hope all your kids have a great back to school season. We hope all this episode helped you out some in some sort of way, whether it's your first time going or your multiple. Let us know what you think about your opinions on these topics. Next week, I've talked to you. We mentioned it. It's going to be an HHN episode. We're going to go over our hype list. Heather is going to join us. She was on our episode last year when her and Allison went to Hollywood and did HHN for the first time. So we're going to discuss what we're most excited for, what we're not so excited for when it comes to the houses, the shows, and hopefully food. If you want to get a hold of any of us to plan a Disney cruise, a Disney vacation for you, or a Universal vacation, you can go to www.magicaltravel.com. Either any of us or any of our wonderful agents of Magical Travel will be glad to help you with a no obligation quote. And until the next time, we will see you on the next episode.
Bye.